Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday morning. I'm just going to take a minute here and make sure that I can see all the comments that might come in. And I hope everyone's having a good Saturday morning so far. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I will be able to see your comments, so that makes it a lot easier. And let's do a little sound check here. Make sure that you can, in fact, hear what I'm saying, because that's going to make this whole process go a lot better. Perfect. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Stamping Saturday. My name is Jen, if we haven't met before. So today we are going to be doing the February 2021 Paper Pumpkin, the Bouquet of Hope kit that I have right here in front of me. So let's go ahead and take a look. I haven't actually worked on it yet, so we're gonna be doing this together. So there's our little ink spot. We've got a Mossy Meadow Stampin' Spot in this kit. And here is our stamp set, and it's very pretty. I like this. This bouquet is quite lovely. See, this says, sharing in your sorrow, thinking of you, and wishing I could be there to hold your hand. Lovely sentiment. And I'll always be here for you. Nice. I like it. So there is this little pamphlet in here about next month's kit. And they are letting us know that if you get the kit in March and the deadline to order is March 10th, then you actually get this stencil kit with it. So this is 4 different stencils. And then each one you can lay the stencil over top of a piece of cardstock and use the sponge to sponge on some ink. And then when you pull the stencil up, you have this pattern left behind. So that's a really cool extra in next month's kit. There is actually a little bit of information about that on my page. If you want to scroll through, you can find that. So let's take this out of the box and open it up and straighten out my paper. There we go. And here is the kit. Oh, I do want to mention one thing. I said you won't need any supplies other than the kit to make these projects. That was actually an unintentional lie. I apologize. You will need some paper snips because we're going to have to cut this twine for the card. Okay, let's get in here and see what we've got. All right. And it's arguing with me, which it does on occasion. Here, set that aside. So on here, we've got this pamphlet. And so this shows you what the finished projects will look like. And then inside is the instructions, which I'll come back to in just a moment. And then on the back, it does have a list of everything that should be in this kit. So it's always good to double check. I've never had anything missing, but you never know. And then there's actually some alternative projects here. So this is what they intend you to use the supplies for, what they include supplies for, but of course you don't have to do that. You can certainly do your own things, and they've got even some suggestions here, which is nice. So in here we've got some sequins and some Mossy Meadow twine. Stampin' Dimensionals. This is our envelopes. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3 yellow ones and 3 green ones and 3 pink ones. Nice. I'm going to set those aside because we won't need those until the cards are done. Oh, this is our sticker. So they've got 3 languages here. Obviously, I'm going to use the English one because that's what I need. But if you speak these languages, you go ahead and use whichever one you like. So I'm going to hang on to one of those that I will need. Ooh, these are pretty. I like these gold doilies here. So we're going to need one of those. And these are the card bases. So there's 3 green ones. I'll hang on to one of those. Come back to that. And 3 pink ones. Hang on to one of those. Ooh, this is very pretty. I like this with the flowers. That's lovely. We'll hang on to one of those. And then we've got some sheets with bouquets of flowers and some individual flowers and a little rectangle of yellow there. So these aren't stickers, these are punch outs that will be adhering to the cards. Ooh, very pretty as well. So this is going to be a frame. Where is it? Oh, here it is. It's going to be a frame around the thinking of you. That will be nice. This is just an extra piece of cardboard we can get rid of. And then this is going to be for our sentiments. All right, I'm going to set that up there. I'm going to fold my cardstock bases. If you have one of the Stampin' Up! Bone folders, these are really handy when you're folding your cardstock because, oh, sorry, glue dots under there. We're going to need those too. There we go. You can see that it kind of pops open, but if you can run this along the edge, then it stays nice and flat. So I'm just going to do that with my 3 card bases so that they are ready to go. I really like this green. It's very pretty. Oh, one other little bit of information. If you don't know what colors are in here, it tells you on the back of this pamphlet that's included. So this one is Basic Black, Bumblebee, which is this lovely yellow here, which I really like. Just Jade, which is this nice green on this cardstock base here. Mary Merlot, which is this lovely wine color. Mossy Meadow, which was the green ink spot. Sorry, I'm kind of at the top edge of the frame there. There we go. And Rococo Rose, which is this nice pink. So it's all on the back here, what colors, in case you want to bring in other elements that you have in your craft room. Okay, so let's open up the instructions and see what we're doing. Okay, so step 1 and 2 is to actually get this sentiment ready. And if you have a look down below here, it says tip to keep your sticker from ripping, remove the negative backing of the thinking of you sticker sheet. So what they mean with that is if I just try to pick this up and pull this, the words could tear apart. So I am going to cut out the English one that I want to use here. And then you can, of course, save the other languages if you think you might have a use for them. A little tricky in there, but there is room to cut it out. Okay, around that one and around that one. All right, so now I can set that aside. So then we're going to try and peel off all this extra stuff here first and just leave the sentiment there. Let's see if I can get an edge. That's going to be the tricky part, is getting it to start. Could take a minute. Okay. Well, at least we know it sticks really well. Oh, maybe. There, I can see it there. Okay. Oh, almost. Still got a little bit extra on there. Goodness, stuff is stuck really well. Let's see. Nope, that's got Well then, this is interesting. I wonder what happens. Maybe I will try to very carefully peel this off. Now it's all one big piece. So if you're trying to follow me on this, you have to be extremely careful because this could tear. Okay, so it looks like that's going to work. So I'm going to leave it like that just for the moment until I have somewhere to put it. Okay, so step 3 here is to stamp the sentiments. So we're going to stamp the sorry for your loss and the I'll always be here for you. And I have to apologize. I just realized I didn't bring my stamping box. So I have to run away just for a second. I apologize for the pause. I'll be right back. So sorry about that. Obviously, we need a stamping block for our stamps. All right, so we're gonna need one of this shape. And we're going to need one of this shape. And then I can set those extras aside. And let's get this sentiment here. One thing you can do if you want to make sure it's straight is I use this nice grid paper that you can get from Stampin' Up. And you can kind of just get it square there and then set your block down on that to make sure that it's nice and square. And open up our Mossy Meadow ink spot here, like so. Okay. Get this guy inked up here. And so they have this centered on here. Like that. Make sure you press straight down and then pull it straight up again. Okay, there's that one. Set that stamp off to the side and get the next sentiment from the stamp set. And again, I'm just going to set this on my grid paper here and make sure it's nice and straight. Then put my block on there. And add the ink. Okay, get this one. Make sure I've got it right side up. That would be helpful. And get that centered on there. All right, I'll set that aside. And we'll see what's next in the instructions. Okay, so step 4, we are adding the doily and we're adding the frames here. Okay, so that means we are doing this gold here, and then we're going to do this around the outside here and these stickers. So I'll get this gold doily and our glue dots. And I'll just add a bunch of glue dots. I'm just going to put the glue dots in the center of this. If you put them around here, they can potentially show through. So I'm just going to put a bunch of glue dots around this. And yes, they do occasionally stick to your fingers or your thumb. It just happens. So I always just rub them off and get another one. See, like that, stuck to my finger again. Happens. Add a couple more here. One more. Oh, that one stuck to my finger too. Goodness, they like me today. All right, there we are. Take the backing off of these. I like these little glue dots, they're handy. There's often some extra left in a kit and then I'll use them some on some other non-paper pumpkin projects because they can come in quite handy. All right, so this one is getting centered on this card here, like so. All right, and then next, we're going to add this frame and these flowers. So we need the pink card, move that one out of the way, our glue dots, and we need, what do we need here? So we need not the bouquet, but these 3 sets of flowers on this one. So we'll just punch them out. It's already perforated. You just punch those out and like so, and we're going to need this. So, sorry, I keep bumping my light. Let's move that slightly because it's glaring on there. There we go. So what I'm going to do is actually add these flowers to this, and then I can put the glue dots, excuse me, sorry, put the glue dots behind this, because with this vellum paper, if you put the glue dots on the back, it's going to show through. You can see my fingers through there, it shows it. So I'm going to attach these flowers, and then I can use the flowers to hide the glue dots on the back of the vellum. That's just one little trick that I have learned along the way. And, oh, thought it stuck to my finger again, but it didn't. We are good. One more on there. Take the backing off. So I hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. I know it's still Saturday morning, but hopefully it's going well. Sorry. Seem to have a frog in my throat this morning. All right. So this one is going to go approximately here, like so. And then we'll add some glue dots to this one. Well, we'll attempt to add the glue dots. Okay, there. That's, nope, that one didn't work either. I am not having much luck with the glue dots this morning. Some days are just like that. Okay, a couple more on here, like so. And take the backing off of those. There. And then that one, they have approximately here. Now I'm making these cards exactly, or at least close to exactly how they're showing here, but these are your cards. So they've included these supplies to make the projects like this, but it's your cards. So you make them however you want. You don't like those flowers there, you want them up in that corner or whatever, you go right ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm going to use the flowers that we just attached as somewhere I can put glue dots to adhere this vellum frame. So we're just putting those, can you see that? Good. Just putting those on the back of the flowers. There. A couple more on that one. And then we'll take the backing off of all of these guys. Okay. Almost got it. Almost got it. There, brush those out of the way. And so this card is, do you see what I almost did there? That's opening at the top. I was just going to say, you might want to double check and make sure, because this card, well, I mean, you could always have it open from the top and be an extra special surprise, but probably best to have it open this way. And that's going to get centered on there, like so. And let's see what our instructions say. So that was step 4. So now we are up here at step 5. We're going to finish off this card. Oh, there's a tip here. Step 5, remove the sticker with take your pick tool or scissors. Okay, so that means this here. Oops, I didn't put the lid back on my Stampin' Spot. I'm just going to do that. There we go. So I've already got it started, but you can use your scissors either together like this or the edge to peel up the sticker. And again, I'm going to be very, very careful with this because we don't want it to rip. So just take your time with this. Carefully pull that up. I'll put that back in the middle. And just be careful handling this because it does stick to your fingers. And we want to make sure that it doesn't rip at all. And we're going to put that, I think, right about there. All right. And then we have this last little flower to go down in that corner. And if I can find where I put my glue dots, there they are. A couple of glue dots on this flower, like so. Take the backing off. Okay, and add this little guy down to the corner here. And the reason I did this one last is, if you see, they actually did it slightly differently. They had this in a slightly different position and put that yellow flower partially on top. I've actually got it positioned just slightly differently and the yellow flower is beside it. So that's what I mean by you don't have to do these cards exactly the way they do. So that's actually that card finished, other than perhaps some sequins at the end. So I'm going to set that one aside. Okay, and all right, so the next step here, step 6, is the Mossy Meadow thread. And it's kind of hard to see, but on this card here, in behind the Sorry for Your Loss, they've just got some thread kind of going top left to bottom right corner. And if you're wondering how much, then down in the tips here, it says cut 15 inches of Mossy Meadow linen thread, tie in a bow and adhere to center of gold foil piece with an adhesive dot. So that's what we're going to do. I will find the thread. And if you don't have this grid paper like I do, which has a ruler here at the bottom, they've included a ruler on the bottom of these instructions here. So now we just have to find the end of the thread, which could be easier said than done. There it is. Okay, 15 inches. So we've got 9 and 6 is 15. Cut the thread. Okay, and then here it shows they've just tied it in a kind of a fairly large bow. So let's try that. So my way of tying these bows is to kind of make like bunny ears with the thread like this. And then I hope you can see it. Maybe I can hold it a little closer. So I've got the 2 bunny ears. Oh, there's a shadow down in that corner. My apologies. There we go. Is that a little? One moment while I adjust the light. There we go. That makes it a little better. Sorry about that. Okay, so make the 2 little bunny ears with the thread like so. And I'm going to cross those over and then tuck one bow through the opening and pull it out the other side and just pull that tight. And then you can just pull on the ends of the thread to make the loops a little smaller, and then pull on the loops again to tighten your bow. And then you can adjust it so that things are even. And then this is getting attached to this, our Merlot flowery card with the gold doily on it. And so that is just going to kind of go in the center like that. So we'll take one of our blue dots and we'll put that in the center. Take the backing off. And then I just adhere the knot from the bow on there, like so. And then we have our bow attached. Okay. And then what did they say the next step is? So the next step here, step 7, we're going to put the bouquet and the sentiment on here and the sentiment on the one we just did. Okay, so I'm going to do that sentiment first. And in the steps here, it says you're adhering the stamped labels and floral bouquet die cut with dimensionals, which is these guys here. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of, so this one, once again, referring to the diagram, we're doing this card. We are going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. I like these dimensionals because it does exactly what it says. Add some dimension to your card so it's not completely flat. Do that. Peel the backing off those. Yes, you will have little bits of paper all over your craft area when you're done. It's the backing from the dimensionals and the glue dots. And that is just going to get centered over top. There. Now, I have these little strings that aren't quite even. I actually like how that looks. So I'm going to leave it. But if you wanted these shorter or a little more even, you could, of course, just trim those. So I'm going to set that one aside and get our Just Jade card base. So this is what we're doing now. We're going to get that yellow piece. And again, that's, oh, can't pick it up. There we go. That's in this page here. Just pull that out and put some glue dots on the back of this. And it's stuck to my finger again. They just like me a lot today. There we go. And a couple at the other end. Oh, and that one stuck to me again, of course. Normally I don't have this many stick to me. It must be my magnetic personality or something. I don't know, but I have a lot of them sticking to me. Couple in the middle here. There. Nope, that one stuck to me as well. Goodness, I don't know why I'm having such an issue with this today. There. Okay, now we can take the backings off of these. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take this bouquet out of the backing here. Okay, and so this card goes this way. And what I'm going to do is just going to, so we want the bouquet to be about there. And so then I'm going to want this about there. And then I can just slide the flowers out and stick that down. There we are. I always like placing before I stick because then I get things where I think they look the best. We're going to apply some dimensionals to our bouquet here. One down at the bottom. And take the backing off of those. And like so. And now I'm going to make sure that I don't have this up here where it goes past, oh, it's stuck a little bit, where it goes past the edge of the card, because then it won't fit in the envelope. So I'm going to make sure that this comes down here so that the bouquet is within the confines of the card. And then we want our sentiment that we stamped earlier. Going to put some dimensionals on that as well. I think 3 will be good here. Take the backing off of those. Make sure it's right side up. That would be helpful. And I'm going to put that. Yeah, I think about there works. Like so. Okay, and then the last step is we have these lovely little sequins that were included. And you can see, hopefully you can see, they've got a few black sequins down here and up here on the Mary Merlot card. And on the green one, there's just a few here. So it doesn't look like they have any on this one. You could, of course, if you wish. So I'm just going to follow their suggestion for the moment. Oh, this sometimes happens to me where the glue doesn't come with it. Just stick it back down and pick it up again. And the glue is now with it, and we can stick that right on our project. And another one down here, and a little one over here. There's that card, and we're going to get this card back and add a few sequins to it as well. Here, there, and a few down near the bottom, like so. I'm not actually paying attention much. We're comparing it to how they have it. Oh, missing the glue dot for that. There we go. There. And let's put one more down on this one. Okay. So then we have our envelopes that we set aside earlier. One green one, one pink one, and one yellow one. Okay, so which way around? I think I would put, I'm going to put this with that. And pink one. Go there and do this with the green one. All right, so here is all 3 of our cards, and there's supplies to make 3 of each. I'm just doing 1 of each today so you can see them. That is the 3 cards for this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. And remember though, you can make alternates. There is some suggestions here on what you can do. So what they've done here is they took one of these squares and they trimmed the edges and put them on there, and they added some flower stickers and a different sentiment. And then they also stamped some flowers. If you look in the stamp set, there's some little flowers here. And so that's what they've done there. And then this one actually uses the, I believe it's called Flower and Field. I can't remember the title of it right now. 1 second. Yes. So this is actually using the Flower and Field paper, which is a celebration item. And then this one, they've used a different cardstock. So this is just something you would get from your own supply. You can use whatever color cardstock you like here. And they have stamped this bouquet stamp and colored it in. So that just gives you a few ideas. And if you look online, you can find lots more ideas for that as well. But that is our 3 cards made as the set was designed, and I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Oh, see, there is 2 comments that I somehow missed when they first came in. My apologies. Let me go have a look here. Oh, thanks, Glenda. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So that is our February 2021 Bouquet of Hope Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you are interested in paper pumpkin kits, I do have a bit of information posted a bit further down on my page, but there's 2 ways you can get it. You can either subscribe to it. It is a monthly kit that you get each month, although you can skip a month or cancel whenever you like. There's without any penalties or fees. But if you're thinking you might want to just try one before you subscribe, let me know and I can get a kit ordered for you. And yeah, just leave any other questions you might have. And that's what I was going to show you. Next week, let me move these cards out of the way. English really is my first language, honest. So next week, I am going to bring in the Painted Poppy stamp set, which is in the annual catalog. And it's one of my favorite. I really love this stamp set. And then we're going to use some sentiments from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. And we're going to make these 2 cards next week. So hopefully you can join me at 10 o'clock next Saturday. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.